Hello everyone, I'm here with another video and this is part of my Travel With Me series. I am working on Cincinnati here, as you can see, and when I did my other two videos, I really wasn't in a place where I ended it where I could do this. So I just wanted to show you all of the memorabilia that I picked up while I was in Cincinnati, because a lot of this, I hope, will appear in the album. So I just wanted to give you a look at this bag that I got from the Cincinnati Art Museum. It was the perfect size to take all of the things that I had gathered, put them in here, and carry them on the plane. So it serves dual purpose. It's a lovely bag, just as is, that I could potentially use or cut apart, but it also held all my stuff, which is great. Now, I will say, for this album, I think I'm going to do a 6x8. This is a little too large for that, so I'd probably have to cut it down if I were going to use it. However, I could also maybe trim it and use this sideways as a title, or just some of the 6x8 pages have two 4x4 pockets and then a 2x8 option. I could potentially use this for the 2x8 opening on the side. I don't know, we'll see. But these are the things that go through your head when you're gathering stuff on a trip and you're thinking about scrapping it. Before I get started in showing all of the memorabilia that I have, I should note that this is the album I think I'm going to use. I am pretty confident it'll be a 6x8, and I love this album. I actually won this from Simple Stories when it came out. It's one of their limited edition colors. I freaking love that lavender, and it would work out well because the whole trip was planned around going to the Cincinnati Zoo and their two hippos, Fritz and Fiona. By the way, if you don't follow them on Instagram, you should. They're amazing. You'll have so much fun. It'll be the bright spot in your day every day because they highlight Fiona and Fritz a lot. And there are famous murals around the city and lots of different posters and things that feature them. And a lot of them show them as being purple. So I figured this would be appropriate for that. It kind of fits with the color scheme of them. And I'm even considering my opening page might be a big Fiona something. We'll see. But so this is the album. There are some special inserts that came with it that you don't normally get in some of the Snap albums. I am undecided if I will use those or not. I do have some places with my photos where there would be a good spot for some delineation because we were there 4 days. So I could separate by day. I could separate by area because we spent time in Cincinnati, and then right across the river is Covington, Kentucky. So I could also like separate into Cincinnati side, Kentucky side, but haven't gotten that far. But it does come with all of this. So I just wanted to let you see it so that if you end up being able to score one of these, you know what it includes. All right, let's get into the actual memorabilia here. Take everything out, okay? So if you watched my other videos of while I was actually traveling in Cincinnati, this is what we got, and they called it a landing pad. We got it at the conservatory for the butterfly show so that if they landed on us, they don't want the oil from your body to get on the butterflies because it can be detrimental to them. So they give you this, so you can hold this out, and it's red, so it will attract some and they can land on it. Or if one lands on you and it's on your skin, you want to try to get them off as quickly as possible. And so then you just sort of touch them a little bit, almost like a scoop, do this, give them the hint that they need to fly, and they will fly away. And we did actually have to do that several times. But I just thought, what a cute idea. And it's just paper, and it, has some info on it. So I kept it. We'll see if I use it. And then here I did a tour at the music hall right next to Washington Park in Cincinnati. And these are the stickers they give you, like, just to show that you paid and you're on the tour and whatever. And we were a fairly small group. So our guide said, you don't have to put them on if you don't want to. Like, you'll stay with me so we'll know who you are and that you paid. And so I said, you know what? I would like to keep mine on the backing so that I can reuse it. And so she just let me have the whole thing. So mine has never been used and it's still in great shape. And then we discovered when we were there, a big thing in Cincinnati is when pigs fly. And we discovered there's a whole story behind it. And I do want to journal about that because we kept seeing this and we're like, what is this about? This is kind of weird. I mean, it's fun, but it's kind of weird. When we found the story and stuff, we're like, okay, we're going to have to say something about it. And we found this in a shop called I Love Cincinnati. And both my friend and I got one. So I do plan to use that somewhere. This is obviously from the zoo. Fiona kind of gets all the attention because she's a very special hippo, and there's a whole story about her online. If you aren't familiar with her, you can go Google that. And she is special. But it kind of makes me sad that Fritz is younger, but he kind of doesn't get the same attention as Fiona does, maybe. At least, from the larger populace. But it is a cute sticker, and I love the colors in it, and it will work for all the different things we saw there. Very colorful in all the different areas. So I love that. This was a little bit more expensive. I think this was maybe $5, maybe. But I love that it's high quality. It's a very thick material, you can see. So it'll last for a long time. Then I picked up postcard here. This is the riverboat that we went on when we did our tour the first night. And there were 2 boats, and we actually were on the Belle of Cincinnati, so I made sure I got the right one. And this is very indicative of what we actually saw on the boat. So I thought, all right, I'll spend the money. I think it's 50 cents. And then this is from the art museum. Just look at that beautiful print. It's technically a postcard, but to me it just looks like an art print. And so I want to try to work that in as well. And it's a very nice size where I could just put this on a full 6x8 page and use it as is, and then just maybe embellish around it and call it good. This was one of our favorite places that we ate, and we kind of found it by accident. We were just walking the streets of downtown looking for all the murals and happened to pass it, went in to just get bottled water because we could see they had a cooler in there. And then when we were in there, we're like, this place is kind of cool. Maybe we should come back here later if we're back in the area. And we did end up being back there and sat down and actually ate. And it's just an old school diner inside. I mean, it's a newer place, but it's set up to look like an old diner. And the food was excellent. And look at this. My friend had a boozy shake. I had a regular, or not a shake. She had a boozy slush. I take that back. She had the bourbon slush. And I had a regular shake, and it was all fantastic. In my pile of stuff here, I also found that I forgot I got 2 of these. This was the other riverboat, which is the River Queen. We did not ride that one, but I thought maybe I could cut that off, cover it up with something. But I love the view of the bridge here because the bridge is spectacular. And one thing to note about it is this bridge was designed by the same person who later went on to design the Brooklyn Bridge. So if you see similarities, that's why. This was just a little guide thing from the conservatory. And of course it has the butterfly theme since that show was going on. This was from the I Love Cincinnati store. And I don't know that I'll use this, but it was there. And I was like, oh, that's about 4x8 size. I could use that because I have 4x8 inserts. So I have it here. So may or may not use it, but I did like that it had the map on it as well because we were in downtown quite a bit. And so this was very conveniently located. And then this was the guide / brochure we got when we did the tour of Music Hall. And they have a special thing going on called May Festival. It's part of their 150th anniversary. Wanted to pick that up. Again, this may be a little too large, although it looks like it's pretty close to 6x8. Let's see. Oh, look at that. Very, very close. So I could actually maybe end up dropping it in there as is or putting the citrus twist sticky thing on the side with the holes and just using it and being able to turn it without doing anything. We'll see. Next up, we have the visitor guide from the art museum. This is a bit thicker. And the problem is, a lot of times when you get these, the map is like right here on the inside. This one, you don't get the map until you totally open the entire thing. So that makes it a little difficult to put in the album. So I don't know that this is going to make it in there, but I could cut off the front and it would fit because these are basically the same size. So I know it would fit. It's just, would I want to go through the trouble of trying to figure out how to fully unfold this once it's in the album? Probably not. And I don't know that anybody really needs to see all that, but it's there. And then I picked up this postcard of that beautiful, beautiful bridge, which I love. And I have to say, this was overpriced, but I bought it anyway. I think this was $5 or $6. Why this was so much more expensive than an average postcard, I don't know. I mean, I get that this has some nice graphics and stuff on it, but $6 for this was kind of insane. But I figure I'll scan it, then my friend can have a copy, and I will keep the original. And then this we loved. We found this in the gift shop at the conservatory. We each bought one. I think she actually ended up buying the same one that I bought because of these beautiful colors. But we wanted something like that from the butterfly show, so we have it. And then lastly, they had this long postcard of a mural that's inside the art museum, and it's so well done. It takes up like the entire length of a very long hallway. It was super cool. And I know I can't use it like this because I don't do a 12 by 12 size anymore. So I'll either have to cut it in two and use it on 2 pages or just use a block of it or something. The only sad thing is that it got a little bit in my bag because it went under my seat on the airplane and I didn't realize I had caught the corner. But you know what? It just shows that like I lived with it for a day before it made it home, and that's fine. But I love the look of it, and so I want to incorporate that somehow. Just not sure how yet. Last but not least, I have this. Look at this beautiful bag that is green foiling on the front of it. I bought a shirt at the conservatory along with the other things I picked up, my sticker and whatnot. And I had no idea this was the bag I was going to get, but I'm super happy about it because I may have to cut this out and use it because that is just too good to waste. This can't go in the garbage. I would have guilt like forever. So I probably will try to incorporate it maybe like as the division or the opening of when we got here, because this was Sunday and we were strolling through Eden Park to get there, then made it to the conservatory. It would be a nice sort of opener. So, okay, now we're transitioning to the butterfly exhibit and the conservatory stuff. But I'm just astounded that these are the bags that they make and give when you buy something because they're gorgeous. So now you've seen all the stuff that I collected for Cincinnati, and that's pretty typical of what I come home with on a trip that, is about 3 to 4 days. So if you collect things like this too when you travel, I'm with you. I understand. Now the trick is, how do I get all of this into the album? Well, you'll have to come along and see. Thanks for watching.